the man with the second best hat in the whole bar. It's Simon.
Hi, everyone. I think that'll stay there. Hi. I have words. I'm going to do this a little different than last week. Last week I read from my book that I published in 2009. These are new poems that I wrote last week. So they haven't been revised at all, so this is just how they come out. So, and Nick told me I could do whatever I want, so I'm going to read for as long as I need to. So, until I run out of words. So this first one is called On Pages of Modern Hieroglyphs. On pages of modern hieroglyphs. We are all hieroglyphs, carved and painted into stone. We don't last long enough to find the truth in the symbols we become, holding truth in our hands with shared grip, invisible between the symbols. When I wrote on the tablet thousands of years ago, it wasn't like this. We never carved these letters into stones. We never wrote these words so alone. The pictures we crafted together, sharing one another's thoughts etched into rock, were symbolic in the time where it still mattered to us, to our souls. We have become more than the symbols written on our own pages. It meant more when we understood in 3 dimensions rather than the 2 we now provide ourselves, than the 2 we restrict ourselves to, than the 2 we are reduced to now. We are lost in others. We are lost in ourselves. We are lost in each other. On pages in modern hieroglyphs. Thank you. That probably didn't make much sense read out loud. Sorry. All right, I wrote this one. I was actually sitting at Walnut Beach in Milford in my car when it was raining the other day. It's winter rain and I don't know. So this one, it's called Winter Wet Raindrops. Because I was hoping it would snow, but it never snows anymore. Winter wet raindrops. The sound of raindrops impact on surfaces between us, surfaces keeping me away from wet. Metal of the car roof above, a pattering sound, somewhat constant. Glass of the window vertical, the occasional slide of a drip, cascading down the exposed surface, connecting volume through encounters, occasional with its muffled path. Once again, winter's wetness absorbs me, sweeping in through air not bitter enough. The moment will pass to the winter cold in the moment, leaving me uncomfortable. Nerves sense the reality of the most chill, gripping hold. I see the dots and lines, translucent etchings on transparent, like raindrops speaking to me. Winter wet raindrops. Thank you. All right. So I can tell you a little bit about this one. I have a Google Pixel. Have you guys all seen that commercial for the Google Pixel, the Gemini, the AI that you can talk to on your phone? So I tried to have Gemini edit this poem for me. It had a lot of trouble with it. So this is my original version. The AI didn't do anything to it. It just suggested some things, like it needs to rhyme more. But I don't write rhymes. So this poem I wrote last week is called True Interlocked Words. True interlocked words. Whose thoughts are we in? If we are mere memories? Are they more than us? More than other memories? This is not a test. There is no test. Interdimensionality. We cannot be in each other's thoughts, not without thinking too hard. Every day it is. Every day we do. Hard thoughts are not easy. The thrill is the magic. The magic is the chill. We want more. We get it. Every time we ask, every time we stay, every time we laugh, every time we play. We want less, and we don't. The season is always now. We are always now, not just on the beach. Whatever you do to it, it will do it to you. Too much is never enough. Just like you, we want it too. I wish it were true. If you say it again, it will have to be. True interlocked words. Thank you. Are these making sense? They're kind of drifting or whatever. All right. This one's a little bit longer. Again, I wrote this one last week. I'll tell you when I didn't write one last week, but these are all from recently. This one's called Contrasting Cakewalk. It doesn't make much sense. Even when I read the poem, it's not going to make sense then. But it's called Contrasting Cakewalk. I wore the first sandwich tied around my thighs. Instead of bread pages, the protein was laced gently through loops, peacefully around air, keeping time, or at least holding it tight. You wore it too, just the same way, enticing more questions outside the known. They were afraid to ask, questions showing weakness, weakness showing answers, answers showing regrets. We are only as low as our lowest point, but in contrast, there is still space left between. When we smush things together, it won't always work as we seek to find a balance, as we stroke the edges in a deep search for contrast. We are all different hues, deeper inside than out. We are confused too easily by the lack of restraint. We exhibit on ourselves, we exhibit on each other. Arms don't feel as good as legs as we crawl slowly away. If you could sell your soul for a slice of toast bread, no. If you could sell your soul for a slice of tea bread, would you go that far? Is it even worth it, after all? At what cost do you begin to refuse the unused before it starts to use you? At what point do you refuse? At first, I had just assumed there would be chameleon involved, but it is not. It is no such thing. No vale la pena. It is really never worth it. Contrasting Cakewalk. That was confusing. Thank you. All right, I'm going to read one more. Again, this is one that I wrote last week. This one is called Tense Thought versus Reality. All right. And I haven't practiced any of these, so sometimes I can't see what I'm reading, so I make it up. Tense thought versus reality. Maybe the past really isn't. Are we just memories beyond all that reality? Standing up against us? Each stands against herself. Does it scale out to more than the way we see us? And the way we see us? They complement us. They nominate us. They are the words spoken about or against us, but saying nothing real. Words cannot be owned by us, by themselves, more real than they have been. It might keep being, if only. Doesn't mean they won't disappear. That doesn't make it any less real. The words float on. Once we release them, letting go of ourselves, releasing the weight upon us. I still can't find myself appropriate. Doesn't mean I won't try again. Next time, I will, even if it's not real. Or does it even make a difference what we think, if even we are real? Tense thought versus reality. Thank you. That was confusing.
Folks, I forgot to mention there's going to be an open-ended essay question at the end of the open mic, and everyone's